Hi guys, welcome back to Girl Therapy. I'm your host, Nicole. Before we get into today's episode, I just want to catch up with you guys for a minute. Let's see what's new. Actually, wait, there's like nothing really that new. I went to a Bad Bunny concert last night. That was really fun. So if you're watching this right now, you can see me wearing Bad Bunny. So it's me, you, and Bad Bunny on this couch. The concert was so much fun. Guys, I need to learn how to speak Spanish because all the influencers that were invited there spoke fluent Spanish. And I'm like, and they were like, oh, like, do you like love Bad Bunny? Like, they were like, do you not speak Spanish? I was like, no. So they're like, so you don't understand anything he's saying? I'm like, no. And I was like, but I like understand the lyrics. Like, I can like sing along. No, I don't know Bad Bunny as well as I thought I knew Bad Bunny. So I don't know. Maybe I like get a tutor and learn to speak Spanish because I've tried like Duolingo. I did Spanish in elementary school and shit like that, but I feel like I need to be having a conversation with somebody to actually learn how to speak Spanish because whenever I go to Mexico, I can pick it up kind of easily. I felt a little bit like weird because I couldn't, like, they would talk to me in English, but then they would like go and talk in Spanish. And I was just like, okay, I don't know what's going on. And I really wish I could like enjoy this more and like connect with you guys more, but because I don't speak Spanish, whatever. I've never felt that way in like Miami before where I felt like I had to speak Spanish because living in Brickell, it's literally just everybody from like New York, LA. People who live in Brickell really aren't from Miami. So majority of people speak English. Everybody speaks English actually. It would be interesting for somebody like me to speak Spanish here. And then I guess my bubble was burst a little bit when I went there. And like I knew this stuff, but I never really understood like, wait, you actually kind of do need to be able to like speak Spanish to really live in Miami. So anyways, that's like my little update. Let's just add that to the to-do list, something else that I want to accomplish or work on this year, especially because I see myself living here for a really long time and it's just such a useful skill and I should absolutely learn to speak Spanish. That's the culture here. So I would love to dive into a little bit more of the culture in Miami. So that like sparked that little fire under my asshole. My asshole, that's crazy. My ass. I guess like that's pretty much it. So just this past weekend too, it's Memorial Day weekend. I hope everybody had a very nice Memorial Day weekend and you had some time off to relax and wherever you are, maybe get some sun. Memorial Day usually means boats in Miami. Every weekend means boats, but this one means like boats. So I went on a boat. I was invited on a friend's boat. And we get to the boat and me and my girlfriend went together. We get there right when they told us to. We're timely people. We get there at 1 p.m. They say to be there at 1 p.m. We're like waiting on the boat. And he's talking to this girl on the phone, one of our friends, and she's like, did you send me an Uber? And he's like, no. And she's like, send me an Uber. And I'm just like, okay, wait, what's going on? And it's already like 1:30 at this point. So he hangs up the phone. She's like, oh my God, like these Miami girls are so high maintenance. They need this. They're an hour late. They blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, you know that he low-key loves it. And here, me and my friend are like, we drove ourselves here. We're there at like 1 p.m. sharp. Like, because they're our friends. So we're like, we respect that, you know, be there at 1 p.m. We can get there at 1 p.m. We're independent women. We have a car that we like to drive. I look at my friend and he like walks away and I'm like, should we be doing that? Like, should we be bigger bitches? Like, why? Like, I didn't even cross my mind, like, get me an Uber. No, I'll just drive myself there. But I'm just like, am I doing Miami wrong? Should I be asking more from these men? And they're my friends, so whatever. Like, I don't really care to, like, my guy friends, if they invite me to dinner, they will usually typically always pay for me and send me Ubers if need be or have me get into theirs. So they have always treated me with that respect. But I'm like, from random guys, like guys who are like asking me on dates or that are maybe interested in me, I should be high maintenance. Like, I should be a bitch. There's a way to be a bitch, right? There's a way to like be a bitch. I think that book, Why Men Love Bitches or whatever, is so fucking true because they love that. They love to provide. The right guy will love to provide and love to make a girl's life easier. And they love to problem solve. So now I'm like, okay, I need to be expecting way more from these men. Like, I need to be asking for so much. And if they can't give it to me, I walk away and I know my worth and I get it from somebody else. So I was talking to my friend because I also had brunch plans with a guy. And he's a friend, but like, there's always been maybe something like, I don't know. We had a little moment, right, a while back, and I was interested in him, but then I don't know, things just fell off. He like was doing some things I didn't particularly like, and because we hadn't really crossed the line, it was very easy for me to just be like, okay, like walk away. We used to hang out more often than we did, but we haven't. He reached out to me recently, and a lot of people have reached back out to me recently. So I don't know if there's something in the moon or the stars, whatever. I've had 4 people come back. He was like, do you want to go grab brunch? Like, I miss you. And I'm like, okay, like, sure. He set a plan, picked a place. Sunday, we were supposed to grab brunch, blah, blah, blah. And just the day before, I made a TikTok, like, I can't trust men. Like, I feel like they're never going to show up for me, or just anybody in general. Like, I don't trust people when they make plans for me, because I always think that people are going to bail. Like, my biggest thing is I always think people are not going to show up for me, because I've been disappointed so many times that now I just like have a wall up. I protect myself. If a guy makes plans with me, I'll make plans on top of those plans, or I'll just not believe that they're happening until we're literally there and he's sitting right in front of me. Sunday morning comes, 8 a.m., get a text from him, and he's like, hey, like, I'm so sorry to do this. And I know that it's nothing to do with me. Like, it sounded genuine, but he was like, I woke up sick. I mean, that part didn't sound genuine, but he was like, I woke up sick. I'm so sorry. Like, I will make it up to you next weekend. Okay, no problem. First of all, like, my friend, I sent it to my friend. I sent her a screenshot, and she was like, okay, yeah, I've woken up sick 30 times before, but I've never actually woken up sick. And I'm like, no, I know. He clearly canceled for some reason. I don't know what the reason is. Where was I going with this story? Wait, I was like clearly going somewhere, and I don't remember where I was going. Well, that's awkward. Wait, why did I just share this? It had something to do. Oh, right. Because he disappointed me. So I was texting my girlfriend, and I was like, I've been disappointed, and like people have not shown up for me for my entire life. Essentially, like, my father stopped showing up for me when I was in the 4th grade. I just never believed he was going to come home. I never believed he was going to be there. My mom would always be late to pick me up from school. My dad would always be late to pick me up from school. I never believed that people were going to show up for me, and it always gave me severe anxiety, to the point where I had to be hyper independent very early on. I had to figure shit out myself. And I realized at a very young age, if I want shit done correctly, and if I want shit done at all, or if I want to experience things, I have to do it myself. I've always been a leader in that sense, where if I want a bit more of life, I move. If I were just like wait back and see if somebody else did it, or like follow my sister's lead or my family's lead, I would have never gone anywhere. My family also lives in Connecticut. They've all been in the same place their entire life. They love that, but that's not me. And I wanted to make this life happen for me. No one ever believed in me. I went after it, and I did it. Whenever I want to try something new, I go and do it myself. Like, if I want to go do something, my first thought isn't, well, I need to invite somebody so I can do that thing with them, so that I can actually do this thing, if that makes sense. I will go places alone. If I want to try a new restaurant, I'll go alone. If I want something done properly, I'll do it myself, except for like building furniture. I will absolutely call TaskRabbit, because I've tried it several times, and the furniture that I can build, I will do on my own. But for the most part, like, if I want something done properly, I'll do it myself. That's why I manage all my content. I edit all my content. I edit this podcast. I could hand it off to somebody else. No, I don't trust anybody else. I know if I want it done properly, I have to do it myself. If I'm gonna be that picky, I'm gonna do it myself. That's just what I've realized. And I was talking to her about this, and she's like, we're literally the same. We're hyper independent people. And then she was like, this is why the guys that we've attracted are the guys that we've attracted, right? I feel like I've always gone for younger guys, or just guys my age, or guys who are just not emotionally mature or ready or there yet. Like, guys who are just like boys, like they're boys. And I've always loved that energy, because it's like fun, and it's just like young, good energy. But at the same time, we attract those boys because we are their mothers, right? We are almost, in that sense, like the dominant ones. I think I've always just been really comfortable in that role. Like, I'm comfortable being in control. I'm comfortable being the one who will like almost be the provider. Like, I like to take care of people. Like, that is my feminine energy, and that is like my feminine side, is a sense that like I like to take care of people. I will like make dinner. I'll pack snacks for people. I'll get what people need. I'll pick people up, stuff like that. But when it comes to men, like a guy that I want to date, that's so unattractive. And I'm always attracting that type of guy, though, who almost like wants to be taken care of a little bit, like is a little bit of a mama's boy. But it's so unattractive to me. And I'm like, well, it's my fault that I've been attracting that type of energy. And it's not always, but it's like, it's definitely been a thing in my past. And I'm like, why have I always been attracting these guys who, in a way, I feel like I can't really rely on, and I kind of need to take care of? And I think for a while I kind of like got off on that, not like literally, but I think it was like I was comfortable being in control. I was comfortable being in power. And it really scared me to release that, because to do that would mean to be vulnerable and to, I don't know, to be maybe viewed as weak. But now I'm like, no, I want to sit back and relax, turn my fucking brain off, do absolutely nothing, have these men wait on me, like hand and foot. Is that the term? Wait on me, right? I want to ask for things and I want to know that they're going to be taken care of. So this episode is going to be about being more feminine. We want to talk about being more feminine because I think part of me is, but also part of me, the masculine will kick into overdrive when I start to feel threatened or when I start to feel like I need to protect myself, and how to pull yourself back into it when maybe you've been out of it for a really long time. Especially because in my day-to-day, I am more masculine, and that's okay. I think like I need to be masculine to get shit done, and I run my own business essentially. So I am a leader, and I just don't want to be carrying that into my relationship or the people that I am attracting around me. So feminine energy is very, when I describe it, like it's nature. Feminine energy is very like flowy. It's very flirty. It's very calm. I think a good definition of feminine energy is just to know that we are the receivers. We should be constantly receiving, and the masculine energy are the providers. So we should constantly be thinking receive, receive, receive. I do a few things when I want to get in touch with my feminine. This is just something you could do right now, which is literally just like, I think like dance, let go, be comfortable in your bodies, dance naked in your house if you want to, whatever it is. And I feel like whenever I do that every single day, I just feel more in tune with my body, more like, I don't know, like free, I guess is a good word, and just comfortable. Do things that make you feel really confident. I think like a lot of like feminine energy comes from that, is just feeling confident in yourself and loving yourself. I think like self-care and self-love is so important when trying to lean into your feminine. So I think like a really important thing to do is, like I said, self-care. Prioritize yourself. You are the priority. You are the prize. So you need to really take time for yourself. And I don't just mean like get manicures, pedicures, hair, makeup, like skincare. Yes, that stuff is really important if you enjoy that and that's what makes you feel good. But prioritizing yourself in the sense of like really getting to know yourself and allowing yourself to have time alone and to just connect with yourself. So whatever that may be, for me, what has helped me so much get into my feminine has been yoga and meditation. For so long, my brain is so busy and it's always on, and I'm always thinking and I'm always problem solving, and I always just have so much going on, and I overwhelm myself and I really pack a lot into my day. And I never had yoga as an outlet. As soon as I started doing yoga, I was allowing myself to silence my brain for an hour of the day and really get in touch with myself and really just take care of myself in that sense, and take care of myself in silence and listen to what's going on. And when you do that, you become more in touch with your intuition. And a female's intuition is so, so important. And a lot of the times we ignore that, or maybe we don't, not even on purpose ignore it, but haven't flexed that muscle in a while, where we kind of forget how to trust our intuition or what our intuition sounds like or feels like. But our body doesn't lie, and our body is so powerful. And to really be in touch with your intuition, you have to be in touch with yourself and make sure that you're taking the time to enjoy peace and quiet and silence. So whatever way you can attain that, do that. Like I said, for me, it's yoga, it's working out, it's meditating. It's me going out on my balcony every single morning, doing a little stretch, doing a little meditation on my yoga mat. I'm starting off my day getting in touch with myself, and that is so, so important. Also in the same thing, in the same kind of realm of that, about prioritizing yourself, is make sure that, like I said, don't overwhelm your schedule. Make sure that you're not diverting from the goal too much, because we can't be spreading ourselves too thin. We can't be overcommitting to things. And that's something that I used to do in the past. I used to overcommit to a lot of things because I want to make everybody happy. No, that's not my job. It's not my job to make every single person happy. And it's not my job to fix everything all at once. Rome wasn't built in a day. We cannot spread ourselves thin, because when we spread ourselves thin, we become stressed out. We don't become fun. We don't become that light, positive energy that we are supposed to provide as females. So we really need to make sure that we are creating goal lists, really figuring out what exactly that we want and sticking to that. There's no reason for us to be trying to pack 100 things in a day and getting all stressed out. And then when we stress out, our body reacts negatively to that too. We break out. We have cravings. Maybe we overeat. Maybe we undereat. Maybe we can't sleep. Maybe we miss our period. That stuff all happens, and that's because we are stressing ourselves out. We are not supposed to be stressed out, girls. We are supposed to be relaxed. We are supposed to be in one with nature. Nature doesn't get stressed out. Have you ever seen nature throw a fucking fit? Actually, yeah, sometimes, like, what the fuck? A tornado maybe. But like, really though, is nature throwing fits? No. We are nature. Just remember that. Like I said, like when your schedule is really packed and your brain's overwhelmed, your judgment is clouded. You have brain fog. You can't be creative. And I think as females, we are supposed to create. We are the creative side. So by doing all of that, by literally just doing that one thing, sitting in silence, you are able to do so many other things. Like just by prioritizing yourself opens up just a whole realm of femininity. Just prioritizing yourself is the biggest overarching concept of all of this. And I think just that in general is just a massive step to being more in touch with your feminine. Okay, another one I just recently heard from my friend. She posted something on her story and she was like, your confidence suffers when your actions don't align with your goals. Your confidence suffers when your actions don't align with your goals. Did we hear that? Okay. So basically what this is saying is you need to show up for yourself. If you have whatever goal in mind, I'll just use, weight loss as one of them. If you want to lose a couple pounds and you're going out and you're partying and you're drinking and you're not getting your sleep and you're not going to the gym, you're making excuses, you're not eating healthy, you are not showing up for yourself. You're proving to yourself, I can't do it. And that is going to take a major blow at your confidence. Because if you can't even rely on yourself, if you can't even show up for yourself, how could you be a confident person? How are you putting that out there in the universe? It's just, you need to make sure that you are showing up for yourself and you are learning to trust yourself and you are proving to yourself that you are worth it. And that's what it really is about. It's about proving to yourself that you are worth it. You are worth the time. You are worth the energy. Everything that you want, you can have, you can attain. And I think that having confidence in yourself is so important to being in touch with your feminine side, and also just being, putting out that energy that like attracts the right people. When people are confident, they are happier and they're more positive, and they give that they have that lure. They have that, like, when you walk into a room, people are attracted to them. People are in awe of them. People really look up to them and are inspired by them. You just have that magnetic energy, that magnetic pull that attracts the right people. And that is something that I think is so feminine. This one's really difficult. I think to be feminine means to be vulnerable. It means to be open. It means to be honest. It means to be in touch, again, with ourselves and our emotions and the things that we want and the things that we need. I have definitely trained myself my entire life to be a little bit more like, I can do it myself. I don't need anybody, blah, blah, blah. That's not feminine. Yes, that's like a great thing to have. I think I have the confidence myself that I can accomplish anything, that I can do things myself. That's important for me to have. My confidence is knowing that I can do things myself, but also being okay with, like, I can do that myself, but I don't want to. And I also want to get taken care of. This has always been my thing. It's like, I can provide the life that I want for myself. I can have all these things. I can do all these things, but I don't want to have to do it. I want a guy or, my partner that I end up with, I want him to be the provider. I want my money to be fun money. And that's not me being like a gold digger, whatever. It's like, I want to know that I'm provided for and I'm taken care of. That's what makes me feel secure. And that's what will make a masculine guy feel secure too, knowing that he can provide. Yeah, I can do these things for myself. I can be Bob the Builder. I can pay my bills. Do I want to? No. Can I pay for dinner? Can I pick up that bill? Yeah, I can. Do I want to? No. Do I want to even have to offer? No. And I won't offer because that's not very feminine of me. I saw a girl yesterday at the concert. This guy like gave the credit card and she was like pulls hers out to like try to like, she's like, no. And he's like, no, you're not paying for anything. And I'm like, girl, why are you fighting him? Why are we fighting him? I don't know their situation obviously, but it's like, I think that that's what makes a guy feel good. And I think as girls, we are just supposed to receive. Don't be pulling out the credit cards. And even if it's like first date, second date, third date, no, he should be paying. Bottom line, he should be paying. He invited you on the date. He should be paying. You have nothing to feel bad for. He should absolutely be providing for you. If he can't pay for that plate of food, then why the fuck would you even want to date him? Why is he even on this date? If he can't pay for your plate of food, he should be at work, not on this date. Honestly. Like, I'm being so dead ass serious. I just think like it's only the immature men who aren't secure in themselves who would ever feel like, oh, she's using me or whatever. Guys want to provide. If they can provide, they will. The guy who thinks that he isn't good enough is going to be the guy who thinks that people are using him. The guy who hasn't reached his level of success yet, who judges himself constantly and is his toughest critic, is going to have his wall up and not going to want to provide for a girl. He's going to think, oh, she's using me. Oh, she's this, she's that. Oh, she should pay. He's going to feel just as entitled. No. What are you, a little bitch? And a lot of them are bitches. Back to being vulnerable. No, I just got off on a little tangent. It's not your duty to fix everything or try to control everything. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to have emotions. It's okay to break down. It's okay to share your emotions and share your vulnerable side. I think that's very feminine. And I think that that's what we offer and bring to the table for men who have a little bit more of a hard time getting in touch with their emotions or don't have the opportunity to talk about their emotions. We bring that out on them. Guys surround themselves majority with guys. Like, obviously all their friends. I think it'd be really weird to have a guy who had majority female friends. Guys have majority male friends. They spend their time with males. They look up to males, just like how we spend our time majority with females. Guys don't talk about emotions with each other. They don't sit down and be like, hey, bro, how you feeling today? I just noticed this actually a little while ago. It's like I get in the car with my guy friends and I'm always like, hey, how are you? I have never once seen like guys go up to each other or like, you know, I'm sure they don't sit down at dinner and be like, hey, how are you doing? No, they're like, what's up, brother? Did you catch the game yesterday? Like, that's what guys talk about. They never sit there and like really open up about their emotions. And the few guy friends that I have, I feel like do come to me wanting just to have somebody to talk about their emotions with. And they really do crave that. So for a guy to feel comfortable, I think opening up to you, you do need to not be hiding your vulnerable side and not be communicating less with them. I think it's really important to share your feelings, share your emotions, that they should hold space for you and you should hold space for them to do so. And I think that that's feminine. We provide that for men because men aren't getting that from other men. We hold that space for them. We hold that safe space for them. And we should also feel comfortable being vulnerable with them too, because we are completely valid in that. We're just girls. You know? Another thing that I think is super fucking feminine and so fucking hot is to have boundaries, to set boundaries. And I was actually just thinking about this because a little while back, I did something where I was really attached to this guy and it took me a while to get over him. And in my head, I decided, let me try something new. And I mentally friend zoned him. And I said, great, he's a friend now. Let me see if he can show up for me as a friend, just a friend, taking everything off the table, taking sex, everything off the table. He's just a friend. And I mentally just in my head was like, he's a friend. And by doing that, I set a boundary. And it was a little bit less scary than being like, oh, like I can't have sex with him anymore. Cause then I like wanted it more. Do you know what I mean? Sorry, TMI. Not really, actually. But just being like, oh, he's a friend. I don't fuck my friends. So I just was able to like wrap my head a little bit more around that concept. Just being like, let's see if we can be friends, which means we're not going to be doing anything sexual. And I'm going to shut down anything that's sexual. And by setting that boundary, I was able then to like see it from an outside perspective of like, how does he really treat me? I was able to take all my emotions out of it and just kind of be like, is he a good person? And do I enjoy his company? And do I enjoy him? And by setting this boundary with him, I was able to, one, slowly detach, but two, gain more respect for myself. And he also gained more respect for me. And now we have a pretty good friendship. I actually think we have like great friendship. We're really open and honest with each other. And we feel safe with each other. And I feel safe with him. And I do feel like he'd show up for me now because now he respects me as a friend. And I do kind of wish that I had this knowledge earlier to set that boundary earlier. But when I met him, I just wanted to fuck, honestly. And I did. And that's the category that I was put in with him, unfortunately. And that's okay. Things all happened how they were supposed to. And I really learned about myself a lot in that situation. But there were times when me and him were going through so many things that I would say I wanted this or I wanted that and I wanted more. And I'd only put my foot down for a little bit. I'd only set that boundary for a little bit. And then I would give in. And I'd be like, because I craved that intimacy with him so bad. But then I didn't respect myself. And then he learned what he could get away with. And then in a way was almost like, not that he didn't have respect for me, but it kind of lessened like my word, if that made sense. It like, I didn't sound so serious about what I said. So he took the things that I said less serious because my actions weren't aligning with my words. To have boundaries is the most feminine thing that you can have. To be like, I expect this and I want this. And to voice those things openly, be vulnerable, voice those things, say the things that you want. Know that like that's what you deserve and don't stray away from those boundaries. And when you do that, you are so in your power. You are so in your feminine energy. And you really can't be disappointed by anybody because you know what you deserve, right? You set a boundary. You set an expectation, somebody doesn't meet it, okay, no problem. I know that one, I could provide that thing for myself if I really needed to, but two, that somebody else will provide that happily for me, or somebody else can do that for me happily. It's essentially just then being able to walk away. The biggest point of that all is to not be disappointed. I think a lot of us we're scared to set a boundary because we're scared to be disappointed. So we try to have like no boundaries so that like nothing really hurts. If you voice what you want and they can't give you that, you walk away and that's it. No questions asked. We're not wavering from that. We're not then compromising. We're not like trying to negotiate. We're not doing a little barter. Oh, if you do this, scratch your back, scratch mine, whatever. No. By doing that, that also creates confidence. And that creates respect and self-respect and self-esteem. Now that I've created this boundary with this person that I was just talking about, I'm not crossing that boundary. Every single day, I've set that boundary. And every single day, I reinstill in myself what I am worth. And I don't want to go back and I don't want to backtrack. And if I were to do that, I would ruin all the progress that I made. And I'm so much stronger now. And I'm so much more confident. And I know exactly what I want. And if you're showing me that you still can't provide that, I don't want you. And I can go find it from somebody else. And I will. Those were all kind of like my little things. And this all came back to just that girl on the phone who was just like, not a bitch, but like kind of low key. It's like, be a little bit of a bitch. Be a bitch. Be high maintenance. Guys love that. I would rather be high maintenance than low maintenance. And you know, it's not just about guys. This isn't just all about guys. This is also just about we need to learn to relax a little bit more and to know that things are taken care of and to know that things always work out for us. Like it really just comes down to that. And yeah, just trying to exercise being in your feminine more. And it's not easy. It's really not easy. It's not easy to be vulnerable. It's not easy to set boundaries. It's not easy to prioritize yourself. Life can get really busy and chaotic and things can feel really stressful and there's a lot of pressure put on us constantly, but I do think it's really important just for overall health and wellness and your happiness is to really take the time to prioritize yourself, get in touch with yourself, make sure you're putting out the energy in the universe that you want to receive back. Make sure that you are attracting the right people as well and attracting the right opportunities and things to you. I hope that this episode was really helpful. I love you guys so much. Thank you for joining me on this week's episode of Girl Therapy. I will see you next week. Make sure you're following me on YouTube. I'm posting vlogs again. And if you are watching last week's vlog, I am doing a fitness bikini competition on July 6th. So I will be posting my workouts, my food, everything, and just keeping you guys up to date with all of it. You guys see me in those vlogs too, wearing a lot of athleisure. I do wear a lot of TLF. I have a code for you guys if you haven't used it yet. It's TLF-Nikki, Nikkid. You do have to put the TLF. Some of you guys weren't doing that. TLF-Nikki D to get money off of your athletic brand. Get in touch with yourself. Buy yourself a new workout outfit. Go to yoga. Go to Pilates. And that actually has made me more feminine. I'm like doing more like feminine workouts. I'm doing more Pilates. And I also feel like that's helping me like really get into my feminine. I'm like, ooh, I'm dainty. Like, don't break my fingernails. Yeah. And make sure you're following me on Snapchat, Nicole Doyon. I pretty much post what I'm eating on there too every day. And just, I'm really active on there. So if you want to really keep up with me and know exactly what I'm doing every hour of every day, you can follow me on there. And TikTok, of course, Nicole_Doyon, where I just yap. So I love you guys so much. I will see you next week and we will talk soon.